Hey, what is going on,
Ooh.
everybody? Welcome back to Big Gauchos, Stock Investing Shows completely out of pocket to put money in your pocket. I'm Austin, back with the boys. We got something a little different for you.
Oh yes. What's up, Big Gauchos? It's your boy Big Gaucho Tyler. We back with another banger video. Got a lot in store for you guys.
Hey guys, it is Big Yacho Dave, and we have a little special here. We are introducing the Lordstown Motor Electric Vehicle Company. It's a little bit special, a little bit different. So let us know in the comments if this is something you would be interested in the future. We can do other stocks, other companies. Right now, we're just going to introduce Lordstown Motor, and without further ado, welcome to the Voltage Valley. So
Weird.
Lordstown Motor is a brand new EV company that came that did an SPAC recently in I think it was October, and they purchased a factory from GM. It is 6.2 million square feet. GM was able to produce 600,000 vehicles per year, and there is a lot of vehicles that have been produced in this plant already. So I don't remember how much they paid for the plant. Tyler, do you remember?
It's around $40 million that was put into this factory. So a lot of money. So hopefully a lot of profit to come.
It's a cheapy one.
Definitely.
It's too easy.
No, definitely. It was a very good price for Lordstown, but they had to do some modifications to the factory to adapt it to be able to build their new vehicle, which is the 2021 Endurance. You're looking at it right here. It is a beaut, in my opinion. If we scroll down, this is their website, and the main appeal to the Endurance has to do with their wheels. So they have something that's kind of revolutionary to trucks. They have in-wheel hub motors. Now these are pretty newish technology for trucks especially, but they used to have them a lot in bicycles and also in smaller vehicles in Europe mostly, not really too much in America. So this is some pretty revolutionary technology, and it's pretty good because it has very few moving parts, and with whenever you have moving parts, it's going to generate heat, which is going to be kind of a waste of energy. So this makes the Endurance very energy efficient, which is good for EV. So less heat, less wasted energy, and this will be really interesting to see if it actually holds up. But
Should keep them running for years to come. It sounds like they really know what they're doing with the engineering side.
Very efficient.
yeah, I
Mhm.
think one of the main concerns with this is the wheel itself. In extreme conditions, it can kind of make the battery not last as long because with extreme heat or cold, it can kind of wear out. So that's a concern, just being so exposed on the wheel, I think. But it gives it really nice four-wheel drive because you have those four motors on each wheel, taking able to really power the wheels rather than having the engine mostly and then having all those pistons move the wheels.
Mhm. Definitely. Well, I mean, it does sound like a pretty exciting vehicle. Um, I mean, hopefully they're coming on sale soon because they do have some pretty big prospects out there.
Oh, definitely. We're just taking some images of the Endurance.
They're
Looks
very slick.
Ooh, yeah, I like that rounded design a lot better than the Cybertruck. I think the Cybertruck's a little boring because it doesn't really have any dimension to it. It kind of looks like a kid's cartoon sketch. I know that reference is overplayed. I'm sorry, but it's true. This looks more like a vehicle that would be appealing to the masses, especially an older generation that's used to that more classic pickup truck style. Might not be as into the new simple vehicles as the some of the older generation, but that's okay. Something for everybody.
It's a very practical look.
hmm I would agree.
Definitely. So if we look at some of the specs on the vehicle, it is going to cost 52,500.
Sheesh.
Um, yeah, it's definitely pricey, but there's a tax credit, a federal tax credit worth $7,500. So that takes off a good amount, makes it a little bit more affordable.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean that's not unusual for a new pickup truck either. Like a new GMC, Ford, or Chevy would easily cost close to that much after you pay tax. So, I mean, it sounds like a lot, but it's the same as their manufacturers. They just won't tell you that.
Oh yeah,
mhm.
definitely. You're paying 45,000 for basically a brand new EV truck that's supposed to get you better mileage per kilowatts. Definitely think it's a good buy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and then their range of travel is 250 miles, which is kind of a concern in my opinion. I think I would rather it be closer to like 350, but you know, this is a new company, so they have some improvements to make, and I think this is definitely one they could make improvements on.
Hmm.
But it's not terrible, I don't imagine, because you're not going to be taking this cross country. I mean, if you do, that may
It's your
be a
own fault.
challenge. It may be a challenge,
Just
but
the just the stopping to recharge would be the only real downside to it. But hopefully it's like Tesla and they can plan out the routes for you.
exactly. But another really cool thing about this vehicle is, you know, it's mostly for commercial fleets, so for doing like actual work. So they have the ability to plug in your tools directly to the truck, and you can use a 110 volt, 120 volt, and 20 amps. So that's like going to encompass almost every single tool you can imagine. So that's actually really cool that it can work as like a kind of like a exportable battery, you know,
Yeah, that's very cool. I like it.
and it can seat 5 people, so you can bring the entire crew with you. You can tow 7,500 pounds, which is pretty nice. You know, the 4 hub electric motors is definitely the key selling point of this vehicle. They
Classic.
have 600 horsepower, which is actually a lot. I think the F-150 is like only 400, so this is 50% more, essentially.
Hmm.
Their top speed is also kind of concerned. It's only 80 miles per hour, so you're definitely not going to be really hauling it on the highway. So, you know, definitely going the slow lane for this one. But you know, if we want to compare it with the F-150, we can plug in some numbers, and this is a nice little calculator that is in the Lordstown Motor website. So, you know, initial cost is about the same, but of course you have that federal tax credit that you do not have with the F-150. And in addition to that, the fuel costs are a lot cheaper. I think these are just the national average right now, but depending on where you live, you can plug in your own numbers and come up with different numbers for fuel costs. But it's about a third of a difference, which is pretty significant. And also the maintenance is a lot cheaper because there's a lot less parts you have to really maintain. You don't have to, you know, change out, um, you know, tubes and other materials that you do with conventional combustion engines. So that's also a nice little bonus.
Ooh. Well, with all that bonus, you'd hope they're selling some stuff. Good news for that is they are actually. One of the top stories coming out is that Lordstown is topping 100,000 pre-orders for this new truck. Yes, you heard that right, $100,000. Tyler, what's the quick math on that? If they're about 45,000 each, 45 to 50 after that tax credit.
All right, let's say you're with the tax credit, you're looking at $45,000 per endurance vehicle. Times
Yes,
that by
sir.
100, times that by 100 G's. Let's say all of them hit. You're looking at around 4.9, or actually, oop,
4.5 billion.
4.5 billion dollars worth of revenue right now. And you know,
Dang.
that's a lot of money for a company that has not technically made the revenue yet, but a lot of projected. So I'm assuming this company must be worth so much. Am I right?
Oh, well, that's a good question. That's where you're actually wrong. This company's kind of undervalued, and Dave will show you that in the chart. But if this order goes through, it would actually put their revenue for their trucks over what the company is worth. So that's definitely something pretty exciting. And it shows that there's a lot of value left in the stock, especially with the recent dip today.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
so their market cap is only $2.68 billion as of March 8th after the close. So they've been on a little bit of a downtrend, which is due to a number of factors that we'll talk about in another episode. But this is just the introduction. But right now, they are currently valued almost half of what their expected revenue should be, assuming all their pre-orders actually get paid out, which probably won't happen, let's be honest, but we could probably
Yeah.
expect at least 60% of it being paid out. So in that sense, their revenue still is higher than their market cap, which is pretty ridiculous. And that will definitely, if they can succeed in producing their endurance and get it to market at the end of the year, which is what they plan to do, then they will definitely jump up an incredible amount. Right now, they are very low compared to their historical numbers. If we look at the graph, their high is about $32. They typically do this thing called like a little jump and bump. That's what I call it. So you can see that they've commonly gone to about $30 and they jump down to like 20-ish or 25. And they'll jump up again and repeat down to 25 and then keep going up. It's like a trampoline kind of, you go bounce and bounce, which is kind of annoying. But their number is not it's not panic mode, because if we go back back in October, this is their very low point. This is after the SPEC was confirmed. So they've definitely been jumping up and down. So I wouldn't be too panicked right now. I think this is a perfect time to get in on the company. If they jump back up to $30, which I'm sure they will in the next couple of months, then you will double your money. And that's pretty nice to do, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it has the graphs to support it. It's a great time to buy into that dip right now while it's a little bit low, but not too low where you're concerned about, insolvency issues or anything. This is definitely cool. There are a lot of deposits out there and they're only about $100, but they are refundable. That is something to keep in mind. However, just with the nature of this company being new enough to the scene, Tesla really doesn't have anyone to take them on with the Cybertruck, which really isn't in production yet. So honestly, if Lordstown and GM can win this race to the finish line, I think they'll be very successful, and it'll definitely be worth a lot more than 16 in the future. So instead of gambling all that money on Tesla or Bitcoin or Dogecoin or something, you should really put it where it counts and try to make something happen right here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And oops, I got to refresh the story. Something happened. I don't know. But Lordstown is also doing something really cool. And they are trying to kind of copy Tesla's model where they sell directly to the customers rather than going through, auto dealers, which kind of put a third party in there and really bump up the price to the customers. So right now in their home state of Ohio, it is actually illegal, not allowed for vehicle or for automakers to sell directly to customers. But there is legislation that is being proposed and being negotiated right now in the Ohio state legislation, and they hope to allow Lordstown to sell directly to their customers. So that is something to really keep in mind, and it will be really big for the company.
Yeah, that's very cool. I think anything they can do to boost the revenue at this point is a really cool achievement. So hopefully this goes well for them. I think they can definitely make these innovations just because they are an industry leader, and GM's a major automotive manufacturer anyway, so they definitely have the backing to be capable of this.
No, definitely. I 100% agree. And, this is our first video on Lordstown Motor. We'll be pumping out some more content about new stories that comes out with Lordstown because, here at Big Gouches, we are big fans of the Lordstown Motor endurance vehicle. So stay tuned to new videos and new news. We'll do more stock analysis on this, talk more about the fundamentals and do some technical analysis on the graphs. But right now we just wanted to introduce it. So thank you very much. You got anything else to say?
Yeah, I mean, you heard it here first. Lordstown's a buy. They're also going direct to consumer, which is really awesome. It'll really help with their sales over the long term, especially if they're just like, selling these over the internet. People aren't going to get too picky, and they'll be more likely to just kind of roll with the vehicle, even with the betas at first. So I think it's really cool. Definitely check it out. Throw some money in at around $16. You should be chilling.
Yeah, buy it.
Definitely.
Buy it, sell it, or buy it, and that's it. Good
Thanks
night.
for
We
watching
hope you made some
Big
money on this stock.
Gouches.
We'll work on it.
Definitely. All right.